Bitcoin is an ideology that spawned a protocol that created an asset that circulates on a network. The ideology is sovereignty, sound money, freedom and property rights, right? Dignity of the human spirit, ownership of your life force, economic sovereignty and immortality. That's the ideology of Bitcoin. And Satoshi gave us that.
Altcoins come and go, narratives change, but Bitcoin is the truth. The hardest money the world has ever seen. I've thought about it long and hard, about the pros, the cons, dug deep, questioned everything. At the end of the day, you gotta make up your own damn mind. Me, I have conviction. This is freedom. Let's go. I'm a Bitcoin Max.
All right, legends, welcome to another live stream. Let me just put this music nicely there in the background. Yes, I know there's not a lot of people joining the live stream as yet, but I'm sure there will be a lot of people watching it maybe later, because this is a very late live stream, okay? Usually I don't go live this late. Right, but for those of you that are here, welcome. Let's do a little bit of technical analysis here on the price of Bitcoin. And as per the thumbnail, are the bulls back? Are we about to claim the all-time highs? How high are we gonna go? Or is this all just part of a corrective structure? Are we too bullish too quickly, right? Or is it just going to absolutely explode here to the upside? Whew, legends. But as per the thumbnail, the one thing I can say, okay, the all-time high is going to be claimed. The all-time high is most likely going to be claimed very soon, right? Even if we drop here to the downside, and I'm going to explain some of the scenarios that I'm currently watching, even in the most bearish case scenario, which for me looks like it's almost going to be invalidated. Whew. Right, legends, let's start with the technical analysis. Remember to smash up that like button if you haven't done so already. And let's get into it. Let me say hi to the community. Thank you so much for joining me so late, because this is a weird time for me to go live. Irina, I see you. Welcome to the live stream. And Mr. Phantom, yes, you've just been hogging the comments here during it was only me and you, and I saw you said a little romantic. Andy's triangle is holding. Yes, the triangle is holding. I'm going to talk about the triangle that Andy also most probably spoke about. I haven't watched Andy's live stream today. So welcome, Mr. Phantom. 111k, here we go. Right, we will go and see the probabilities in a moment. Right, yes, Mr. Phantom, you have have posted so many comments over here. Right, Doggy, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you here. Jeffrey, hello all. Irina, I've said hi to you. Market M sub Dewald, a great, fantastic. Okay, so today I'm going to be bright, I'm going to be brief, and I'm going to be gone, right? It is late already here in South Africa, almost 8 o'clock at night, so I'm not going to do a very long live stream. I'm just going to cover what I'm seeing on the charts based on the data that we have now, and then tomorrow we can do a recap and see, well, how did that actually play out? I will take you through all of the scenarios that I've also shared with our Legends Pro community this morning. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any scenarios. I want to bring you the alpha. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Anyone else? Mr. Sockman, welcome, welcome. Ram, hello from France. Welcome, welcome. Always great to see you here in the chat. I also think I sent you a message after one of my YouTube comments as well. Right, 2 p.m. Yeah, whew, 2 p.m. That's still nice, sunny in the afternoon. I almost thought 2 a.m. Okay, Hugo, welcome. Hello, Dewald. Hello, everyone. Right, let's go, legends. Okay, let's start with the scenarios. Right, as you guys can see, okay, just want to smash up my own like button there as well. But as you guys can see, I was very busy here inside of our Legends Pro community this morning. And what I opened up with is to say, guys, first shorting opportunity I will consider today, the only short I will consider today, making it very simple over here, is the golden pocket, also in confluence with the previous day value area high and the daily level at the 0.786. Okay, the red box that I've basically highlighted over here. And when I go back here onto the chart, let's go back here onto the 15-minute time frame. Let me just, I don't know if that was the 5-minute time frame, but basically this was the box that I highlighted. Okay, was over here. Where's my pen? I need to grab my pen. This is the box, right? Where did we get rejected? Was this the box or was this the box? I think this was the box. Let me see if I have it saved here. Trading plan. Here we go. There's the box. Yeah, there's the box. Okay, guys, this was the trading plan that I highlighted. This was the box. If you take your fib from the high to the low, 786. Right, got tapped to perfection, and it is also a daily level. Right, beautiful rejection from the daily level. And the reason, this was the only shorting opportunity that I wanted to take, the only short that I wanted to take, right? But I also discussed the bullish case scenarios. Beautiful SFP from the daily level, and we fell here. Okay, to the downside, almost $1,000. $1,000 here to the downside is an epic trade. You hit support. Okay, you can see support over there. Definitely a TP area. I want to see if we hit the VWAP. Yeah, definitely VWAP. You know, I always scream this at the community. VWAP is always a great TP1 area. If you are shorting and you tap the VWAP, you need to take profits. If you are longing and you tap the VWAP, you need to take profits. Okay, it's always a TP1 area for me. If you don't know where to take profits, if you're no long on a short, just switch on that little VWAP. It will give you a little clue. Okay, so that was the only short that I was interested in. And the reason I was interested in this short, let me just put this off, is because of the following. Okay, let me zoom out over here, guys. Let me see if I can get all the price action here into the screen. If I zoom in over here, let me do this. This was my trading plan. Okay, let's go into the 30 minute. Take this out. This was basically my trading plan that I highlighted to the Legends Pro community this morning. I know it looks confusing, but I told them this is the only short that I'm interested in because you could form a C wave to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking to take profits at the daily level. Okay, but after the C wave, I'm looking for up. Okay, if we do not break down successfully, okay, because now remember, there's also that little triangle over there. If we do not break down successfully, I'm looking to play the breakout to the upside. TP1, TP2. It's as simple as that. Right, let me put it into perspective. Let me take this out the way and let me switch on the flat scenario. You all know the flat scenario that I'm still keeping an eye on. Okay, let me just zoom out so everyone can see it. Let me clean it up. Right, this is still a flat scenario that could play out where Bitcoin goes back to $96,000. So although I've put in the thumbnail, all-time high is imminent, I'm not saying that we are just going to continue to the upside, because this is still a bearish case scenario. Okay, but now this is the question, guys. If I zoom into this little structure over here, okay, this little structure that we are forming over here, this WXY, look at the red line, okay? It's the thickest. I can't get it any thicker, but look at the red line over here. The question is, you can still fall down in an A, B, C, and you have a deep X wave that claims the liquidity below that lows. So I am very, very interested in a long over here. I want price to dip below, get acceptance back above, and this is going to be a long that takes me over here, where I'm looking to take some profits. Okay, but now I got new information. The chart has given me new information that I need to consider. So this morning, what I did is I posted this scenario, okay, inside of our Legends Pro community. And I said, well, what if X is forming a triangle? Now that would be interesting. We're all looking for the liquidity to be claimed below the B wave. And what if we form an A, B, C, D, E, and off to the races we go to $114,500, which is the minimum target for a Y wave. Someone asked me, I think it was you, let me just find your name over here, but someone asked me, okay, Ram, I think it was you. Someone asked me, Dewald, what is the minimum target for a Y wave in a WXY corrective structure? It is the 0.618. Okay, which takes you to $114,503. Right, so let's translate this back into the price of Bitcoin. So I want to see, do I still have this? Yes, there we go. This is the scenarios, guys. I know it gets a little bit messy, but let me take this out and show you guys. But this is basically now what I'm looking at, is to say, as if price can remain inside of this triangle, you could have a valid X wave that takes you to $114,500, where you formed an A, B, C in a W, a triangle in an X, and now you go up for an A, B, C to at least tap the 0.618. It can go to the 786 and to the 1-to-1 extension. Damn, the Y wave can even go to the maximum target of the 1.382, which is $123,000. This puppy can rock and roll here to the upside. I'm just giving you guys the minimum target. And the reason I've got the minimum target over there is because when I overlay it with the most bearish case scenario, because guys, I want guaranteed profits. I don't want to speculate on we're going to $500,000 from here. Okay, I want to get into a high probable trade and take profits, because when I overlay it with this bearish case scenario, you can see that this 618, which is the minimum target for your Y wave, is also the maximum target for your B wave. W, X, Y, and it can reject all the way back to the downside and claim the liquidity below these lows. So I want to get in and I want to get out. And then I'm going to look for the next trading opportunity. By all means, leave a moon bag open. Okay. Usually what I would do is I would take 80% of the profits and just leave 20% to run. Okay. Maybe have a trailing stop loss. So you just ride the momentum to the upside. Because I don't want to work this hard to get an entry in this zone and just get stopped out at break even. So this is one of the scenarios that I'm looking at, legends, is to say that, okay, let me switch this off. Either, okay, let me put those little trend lines in here. You've got those little trends over here. You could be forming an A, B, C, D, E. Okay, your X then moves up and we go and complete the Y wave. There's a high chance for this scenario to play out. This scenario has no mistakes. It's balancing to perfection. Okay. Now the question is, are we going to stay inside of this triangle? Because there's another scenario that I just need to point out. And I know it's never easy in trading, guys. But what I do want to highlight here is, even if price still falls to the downside and claims this low, I'm looking for a long. I'm looking for a long at the breakout. Okay, so I'm looking for longs in this zone to take profits over here. These are the highest probable scenarios that I have on the table at the moment. Okay, and of course I will be trading with great risk management. Right. Okay, because you know, if price had to do this overnight while I'm sleeping, and then tomorrow I do a live stream and everyone laughs at me and say, you got wrecked. No, I don't get wrecked. I might get my analysis wrong from time to time, but I can tell you one thing, I do not get wrecked. Okay, I do not get wrecked because I trade with great risk management and I don't overtrade my entire portfolio at 100x leverage. Okay, if I do lose, maximum I'll lose is 2% of my portfolio. Okay, and that is if I'm being very aggressive. Right, so from a high probable scenario, we are inside a little bit of a triangle. Okay. Where's my, here we go. Right, legends. Now the one thing, let's zoom into this little structure. Bearish case scenario is we do not claim the highs of B and we build a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. Okay, there's a daily level there as well that I will be paying attention to. There we go. All right, there's a daily level there that I'm paying attention to. As soon as price gets acceptance back above this low, this is where I will trigger a long. I actually prefer this scenario because the movement is way bigger to the upside. It's a better risk to reward movement. I actually prefer this one, but I don't always get what I want as a trader, right? I can just analyze the price action as it unfolds. Okay, that is the worst. The worst case scenario that I see at the moment is claiming these lows from where price is right now. It should not claim the highs. Okay, if price, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, legends, is if I zoom into this little triangle over here, remember, well, we could also form a flat. Okay, we have a W. You could argue that this is also a W. You have a X, and you can now form a flat in a Y wave. Okay, let's just make this now a Y wave. What a flat means is it goes down, it grabs the highs, it fails to break out. So you basically have a fake out. It comes back down inside of the triangle. It claims the lows, and then it gets acceptance back inside the triangle. So you have a fake out on both sides, and that is what's referred to as a Y flat. You have a W, X, Y flat. It claims the highs, it claims the lows, but it gets acceptance back inside of the triangle, and then when it breaks out, it rock and rolls to the upside. So this is the wild card at the moment. Okay, maybe it's not going to be as easy as it just breaks out and it continues. Okay, so watch out for a swing failure from this high over here. If it breaks out over here and it gets acceptance back inside of the triangle, okay, there's no continuation here to the upside. There's a high chance it's going to come and swing the lows over here. Okay, it might not get to this low because then you have a Y flat. Grabs the highs, grabs the lows, it resets the markets, it basically grabs the liquidity on top, it grabs the liquidity below, you have a fake out on both sides, and then it continues in the direction that it needs to continue. So that is definitely something that I will be keeping an eye on. Right. And the reason I'm saying that once you claim these highs, there's a high chance you're not going to claim these lows, is because then you invalidate a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to form a lower high in order to get an impulse to the downside. As soon as you claim these highs, even if you get acceptance back inside, okay, you can't have a 1, 2 that takes the high of 0. It's not allowed, okay? So as soon as you claim these highs and you don't continue the momentum to the upside, just watch out for the flat. It swings the highs, it swings the lows, and then it breaks out. Unfortunately, a Y in a flat, okay? So let me just try and draw this out properly without creating confusion. So let me take this out and let's do this. W, X, Y. Okay. And let's make this a different color. Let's make that red, right? This is basically what you're looking at is a flat in Y, and then it continues. That is the wild card. Unfortunately, a flat takes priority over a triangle. Okay, so let's see if the triangle can hold, and if we do get a successful breakout, if it can continue to the upside. So there's always that little bit of that wild card where like, oh man, can't it be just simple where if it breaks out, it continues? Okay, right, legends. So now, this is basically the situation that we're sitting with at the moment. Okay, so there is the most bullish case scenario as well, legends, that I just have to highlight because I know some of you are talking about, well, Dewald, what if it's not going to reject at 114,000? What if it's just going to continue here to the upside? Okay, well, guys, I have that scenario prepared and we have spoken about it yesterday in the live stream as well. There is an insane bullish case scenario, okay, where you formed 5 waves, a 3-wave corrective structure in a wave 2, you formed another 5 waves in a wave 1, you formed a 3-wave corrective structure in a C, which is very rare not to claim the lows. I must say, guys, a running flat, okay, it's not really a running flat, it's just a zigzag that did not claim the lows. It is very rare to see a corrective structure, okay, where you have a lower high in the B and the C does not claim the lows of A. Very rare, it's not an invalidation, but you have a 3-wave corrective structure. So I would actually prefer that flat scenario before you move up. Can you imagine the flat scenario where you claim the B, you claim the A, and then you rock and roll to the upside? Okay, I actually prefer the flat scenario from a psychology perspective as well. Okay, but this is the most insane bullish case scenario, with or without the flat. Okay, but regardless, guys, in this zone is where I'm looking for the long. Okay, whether you claim the highs, whether you claim the lows, I'm looking for a long in this zone. Right, so the most bullish case scenario is price just continues here to the upside. Okay, minimum target, which is the most common 3rd wave target, is $122,000. Then you form your 4th wave and your final 5th wave here to the upside to go and reach an estimated $127,565. So it just has to be said that there is an insane bullish case scenario. But I can tell you guys now, I will be paying attention to these levels here to the upside. Okay? If you, excuse me guys, if you are in a long in this zone and it does successfully break out, just make sure that you have these levels on your chart. Okay, you take your trend-based fib from the high to the low and you reverse it to the upside. And then you'll see the 1.236, the 1.382. Just make sure that you have these levels on your chart, because if price struggles to break through these levels, okay, and it starts getting acceptance, if price gets acceptance, it struggles, and it starts trading below the all-time high. You then increase the probabilities of this, okay, this monstrosity here to the downside. But guys, it's still bullish, right? let's just say, for argument's sake, that this most insane bearish case scenario is going to play out. It is still bullish. Okay, let me go here onto the 4-hour time frame. Right? Even if this C wave plays out, I'm still looking for higher. Okay? You have an impulse, you have a 3-wave corrective structure. I'm looking for higher. I would love the C wave over here, guys. I would really love, because this is an epic swing position that I can open up over here, because this is all corrective, especially if we move down here in a 5-wave impulsive structure, scaring the shit out of everyone. It needs to be aggressive, it needs to have high volume, and it needs to scare the crap out of everyone. Okay? We're going back into a bear market. That's what I want to see on the YouTube thumbnails. We got it wrong. No more altcoin season. Blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes, right? This is what I want to see in this wave. I want to see a lot of fear, because I love to build positions in a fearful market. Right, legends, that is basically the scenarios. Okay, these are the scenarios, guys. And something that I also wanted to point out here on the 15-minute time frame is, let me switch on that scenario again. Local triangle. Okay, so something that I was thinking about is the following. Okay, I've got the A, the B, the C, the D. Okay, and one thing that I'm thinking of, well, what if the E is in? What if the E is in? Okay, well, you know, from a safety perspective is you can wait for the breakout. Okay, stop goes below the low. Okay, you want these highs to be claimed. You want these highs to be claimed, and you want price not to get acceptance back below the trend. Okay, so guys, I cannot tell you how you need to trade. Okay, please don't go all in with your entire portfolio at 100x leverage, right? I don't want to get those personal messages from people saying that they've liquidated their account, because worst case scenario, the following plays out. Okay, worst case scenario, it does this. Okay, and you don't want to get liquidated with that little monstrosity to the downside. Okay, right, legends, this is basically what I see here on the chart. Okay, so I am hammering on the corrective structure because I want to play it cautiously to the upside. I cannot just tell everyone here on the live stream $120,000 is guaranteed. We're breaking out. Pack your bags, load up, open up your swing positions. Here we go. I'm a cautious trader. I get in, I get out. Okay, I get in with good risk management. I take profits where I'm supposed to be taking profits, and I look for the next trading scenario. If price continues here to the upside in the most insane bullish case scenario, well, guess what? My swing positions are loaded. I've got my altcoins open on my swing positions. They are loaded, and I will just, you know, this will be a popcorn moment for me where I will say, okay, well, now I don't need to trade anymore. I'm just going to let my swing trades play out, okay? Make some popcorn and enjoy the price action to the upside, because I've worked hard on my swing positions. I've been underwater, and then I'm out of water, and then underwater, adding a little bit, okay? So I've got my swing positions ready. Not on Bitcoin, on some of my favorite altcoins, okay? Because I buy altcoins when no one wants to buy. Okay, right, guys, let me go through some comments. And maybe before I go through the comments, something very interesting that I noticed. I went through some of the stats today here on the exchanges that I usually talk about here on the live stream. And I actually want to run a poll. Okay? For the people here in the live stream. Let me see, where do I start this poll? Here we go. Which exchange do you use? Okay, let's go with let's go with BTC. Let's go with weeks, and let's go with, oops, I just clicked on the wrong button. Anyways, guys, out of those 3 exchanges, okay, which one do you guys trade on? I know there's Mexi, there's Bybit. I just want to know, out of these 3 exchanges, which one do you trade on? Okay, because when I went through the stats this morning, I was very surprised about the exchange that more people use on a day-to-day basis. Very, very, very surprised. Okay, while you guys vote over there, okay, Bluffin, still 20% cash back. They still have the competition running here at the moment. I want to go see, are we crawling up the ladder or are we falling down? Number 25, we spot number 25. We keep on jumping between 19 and 25. Okay, but this is the link where you go and register to trade together. Then I've got BTCC, up to $10,000 sign-up bonus. And for some reason, a lot of people enjoy trading on this exchange. Okay, so I've moved it up the ranks. Okay, right. I've also got weeks 20% extra on the money that you deposit, and you get upgraded to VIP status 1, where you get 25% discount in trading fees and also benefit from all the perks that goes hand in hand with being a VIP 1. So here's the links for the exchanges if you guys do want to join our Legends Pro community, where I do spend a lot of my time in the mornings, like I've shown you guys over here, scenario that I've spoken about. Here's the triangle. If we break out, okay, pay attention. Here's where I'm basically just showed everyone as well. We're either going to break out in the triangle, and then I was like, this is a very messy chart. I'm not sure how anyone's going to understand this chart. And then I tried to simplify it over here, guys. I'm looking to short in the red box. I'm looking to long in the green box. Okay, TP1, TP2. So I basically broke it down. And right, I also said, well, you know, to the downside, also a harmonic that can play out. So just keep, you know, just to throw a spanner in the works, there's also a nice little harmonic that could play out over here, right? And it's still in play. It hasn't been invalidated. And, you know, there's the most bullish case scenario that I've spoken about. So if you guys want the alpha first, yes, also Andy did a video update over here. If you guys want the alpha first before we do the YouTube live stream, this is where you sign up for our Legends Pro community. Okay, so now, what is that poll saying? Let's see. Bluffin is winning. Okay, 47% Bluffin, 16% BTCC, and 38%. So most of you do actually enjoy Bluffin. Very, very interesting. And if you guys see the description, okay, based on the analytics, Bluffin, okay, BTCC and weeks. Okay, weeks actually is higher than, but based on the analytics that I saw, number 1 is Bluffin, number 2 is BTCC, and number 3 is weeks for some reason. Okay, it could be that there are more people on weeks, but people with bigger account sizes are trading on these two exchanges. Okay, very interesting, right, Legends? But, you know, you want to support the channel, you want to get the best sign-up bonuses, the lowest trading fees, links down in the description. It costs you nothing extra. All of these exchanges only require an email and a password. Okay, right. I do have some swing trades open on Bluffin and on BTCC. Okay, it's underwater, then it's above water, then it's underwater. But I must say for the last 2 weeks, it's mainly been above water. I'm looking for that little explosion to the upside. I did see Theta's breaking out over here. Okay, this is where I got into Theta. This is where I got in. Okay, you might be calling me crazy, guys. I'm not married to Theta. I'm not saying it's a great token. I don't care about the fundamentals. I'm playing the technicals. It broke out from a bullish pennant. This is where I longed. I took some profits at the highs, right? And then I was tracking this trend, broke out. And then I tracked this trend, broke out. So it looks like it wants to go, okay? Maybe it's going to go. So I've got a swing trade open on Theta. ADA breaking out. A couple of trends that I've got over here. Litecoin. What is Litecoin doing? I just want to run through some of these altcoins where I've got swing trades open. I've got a swing trade open on Litecoin. Let's go here onto the 4-hour time frame. You guys can see I've got a swing trade open here on Litecoin, but I just want to see what is cooking over here because Litecoin tapped my box. Okay, I have a little boxy that says buy zone. Damn it, switch off. Okay, I have a box that says buy, and when something taps my box, I buy. Okay, I don't just put it there for shits and giggles. I act on these little boxes. But Litecoin broke out. It broke out. Okay, and maybe there's now another trend forming over there, right? So it looks like it wants it. Well, I'm hoping. I don't have a trade open on Fetch, but it's also breaking out. By the way, it did tap my box ever so slightly, but I missed it. I missed the buy zone. That is where I wanted to buy. Right, Link. What is Link doing? Oh, Link. Yes, you guys can see. Here's my swing trades that I've got open. Okay, also on BTCC, right? My entry on BTCC is 12.2. 12.2. This is where I bought Link, but I basically bought in this zone. So I've got an average entry of 12.2 on BTCC. Okay, where did I get into bluffing? 12.3. But anyways, so it's not broken out yet. This is the beauty about Link over here. It has not broken out just as yet. Just want to take that out the way. Oh, it is breaking out. It is breaking out, right? Guys, these are major trends. These are major trends, okay? So for me, this is swing trade paradise, okay? This is swing trade paradise for me, right? Which else do I have? I've got ICP. As you guys can see, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I've got ICP. I'm in a trade in ICP. It's ICP is one that's been frustrating me because it's just chopping inside of my buy zone. Just chopping inside of my buy zone. As long as it's in my buy zone, I will buy. When it's out of my buy zone, I don't buy. Okay. Doge. Do I have a trade open in Doge? That would be very weird. I need to go check after the fact. I do think I have a trade open on Doge. I have small trade open on ADA. Rune's breaking out. I'm sure there's not many people that wants to trade Rune, but XRP is also breaking. It's nibbling here at a major trend. It tapped the buy zone. I do have XRP as well, but that's in one of my other portfolios. Okay, it's not a swing trade. It's a spot trade. I've got a spot trade open here on XRP. Beautiful entry. Okay, AVAX, I do have a trade open on AVAX, I think. Yes, there we go. I do have a swing trade open on AVAX because it entered my buy zone spot. I actually do have a 2x swing trade open on AVAX as well. So, guys, it looks like this could be the moment, right? Or it's going to just fall down and I'm going to, because I'm not fully deployed, I still have a lot of dry powder. I'm about 25% in the market. So I still have 75% to deploy. So if for whatever reason Bitcoin decides to do this, okay, I'm going to deploy a little bit more. Definitely I'm going to deploy a little bit more. But I can tell you guys now, worst case scenario, okay, worst case scenario, let's say we get this move and it rejects to the downside and it claims that low. This is where I'm most probably going to deploy 50% of my portfolio. I'm not going to cash out. My liquidations, I mean, guys, is 2x positions. My strategy was to add at certain levels. I've got my limit orders in already. Okay, because I know there's a chance it's just going to go. So I cannot just FOMO out of my trades. But if I do see weakness, okay, this is something that I will strongly consider. If I do see weakness below the high, if price bumps here and it starts trading below the high, I might start de-risking myself, maybe even exit some of those positions, because that is a sign of weakness. But until then, I'm in. Okay, let's go through some comments, but I'm going to use BTCC over weeks because it has stock options. Yes, BTC boss, you're quite right. BTCC, the reason a lot of people like BTCC is because it has stock options. Okay, you can trade gold, Tesla, silver, whatever you want. Well, I think it's got the major ones. It doesn't have all of them. And there's another exchange, guys, that I'm busy talking with. It's not a new kid on the block. I'm sure a lot of people do know about it. But there's another exchange that I'm going to introduce. And they also offer stock options. So, keep an eye out when I start talking about them. Right, so, well, that is why I think maybe a lot of people like BTCC, because you don't have to just trade Bitcoin. You can trade Tesla, you can trade Facebook, you can trade gold, you can trade silver. Okay. The E is in. Yeah, Dimitri, and that's now the question, okay? Because I did see that before the live stream. And I was like, okay, because, this E could be in. Because I've seen this before. These little triangles, okay, where people think it's going to just be perfect symmetry, It's just going to balance perfectly where you're going to get that beautiful A, which is now there, a beautiful B, because that's usually where you can start drawing, okay, your trends. And then you're going to get the C, okay, and then you're going to get the D, and you're going to get a beautiful E, and then you just long ever so graciously, and you put your stop here below the low, and then you blast to the upside. I have seen these E's finish over here, and I can show you an example. Okay, let's go and see an example over here. Let's go to the 30-minute. Where was it? Where was it? A, B, C. What was it? A, B, C, D, E. Anyways, I think I deleted that scenario, guys. The triangle in the X wave. Wanted to see. Here we go. Right? Here we also had another triangle. Okay, do you guys remember this triangle that we were keeping an eye on? Here we go. Do you remember this triangle? Okay, we were talking about it. What if this is an A, B, C, D, E? We were waiting for E to tap the trend, and look at where E ended. Okay, and poof, we fell to the downside, claimed the low. Right, we were talking about this triangle for ages, and then we you know, A, B, C, D went to perfection, and E just bang, fell to the downside. Now again, okay, and this is what I'm watching here as well. There's a chance that E is in. Okay. Right, I just want to zoom into this structure. For the C wave to the downside, legends, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, there's an invalidation. Right, you take your fib from the high to the low. Okay, let me just take some of the noise here out the chart, right? You can see that where price rejected at the moment, at the daily level, is a valid rejection level for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the bulls, what you want to see is to claim that high. It needs to claim the damn high, because then it can't be a 1, 2 anymore. Okay, once it claims the high, it's not a 1, 2 anymore. But then you still, you know, you still sit with that flat opportunity. Okay, but then I don't see us, and like I've said in the analysis, I don't see us claiming this low. So even if this is a fake out, it's a fake out. What I see is a fake out from this low. Okay, you get the fake out, you get the fake out, and then you get the continuation. That is the worst case scenario, technically, that I see at the moment. If we do get a fake out above this high, is that price is going to create a fake out below this low. If there's no fake out and the E is in over here, then, well, off to the races we go. $114,000, 500. That's where I'm planning to take profits. Okay, right, cool, legends. Yeah, those are basically weeks and Bybit. I clicked on the wrong button. Right, I'm sure a lot of you still also trade on Bybit. Okay, it's also one of the exchanges that I still use to trade on. I also trade on Bybit. I also trade on Mexi. But for some reason, I have the links. No one wants to use my links, so I just took them out. Okay, so if you do want a Dewald Bybit or Mexi link where you get a nice little sign-up bonus, just send me a message after the stream and I'll give you the link. But no one wants to use it. I just took it out. I thought it's just, making the description ugly or busy. Yes, I also like Mexi, especially from a scalping perspective. From a scalping perspective, I love Mexi and Weeks. And the reason I like Weeks as well is because I do have a lot of native tokens. And because I have a lot of native tokens, I get, I think, 75% or 70% discount on my trading fee. So it makes scalping worth it if you're playing small little positions, high leverage to the up and to the downside. But yeah, I mean, Mexi and Weeks for me is great for scalping. 100x long, there we go. In a triangle, all waves should be 3-wave structures, and in short E scenario, D wave looks impulsive. Yeah, I mean, one of the waves needs to be a complex corrective structure. So let me just put this back. Okay, yes. So ideally what you want to see is this. Okay, ideally what you want to see is this. But it's not allowed to claim this low. It's not allowed to claim this low, right? So you're not allowed to claim C in a triangle. that is your invalidation for the triangle. Okay, so guys, I'm not going to zoom into the 5 minute, 1 minute time frame to go and try and make sense of it. Okay, those days for me are gone, right? So you could argue that this is an ABC. It does count better as a three-wave structure. Okay, you can also count it as an impulse, but it does make, you can even say it's an ABC in a W, then you have an X and you have a Y wave to the downside. So this could be a three-wave structure. Then you have another A, B, C. Okay, three-wave structure. You could also say this is an A, B, C. However you want to count it. A, B, C. Okay, so I'm seeing three-wave structures. Definitely seeing three-wave structures. Okay, this could also be a three-wave structure over here. Okay, and this is now going to form a three-wave structure to the downside, maybe in the E wave. Right, guys, so I'm not going to go into the smaller time frames and try and make sense of these internal waves that's following, but I do know the levels that I'm watching. Okay, I do know the levels, right? You get a fake out. If I see that, right, I know where I'm going to be looking for along. Okay, if there's no fake out, well, then we continue, right? If price does not take these highs and it falls down, then I'm looking for a long over here. That's my trading plan. It's as simple as that. Or price falls down, it makes a higher low, okay, and then it breaks out over here. There's a high chance that if price falls down here, it makes a higher low and then it breaks out. There's a very high chance that this breakout is not going to be a fake out, because then you have a completed triangle that did not get invalidated. So I have my plan ready. Okay. Is the triangle time proof? I think it's after the 0.382, right? Well, let's go check that out. Okay, you guys are keeping me honest. Dewald also always speaks about the time fib. Okay, yes, I do think the triangle is valid. Right, let's go check it out. From the start of W to the end of W. Okay, yes, it's after the 0.382. So minimum target has been met. Minimum target has been met. Okay, if this low was over here, I would have said, it's not time, guys. It's not time. It's not time. Just wait for one more low. Okay, but minimum target has been met. Right, so to your question, Dimitri, yes, or Phantom, Mr. Phantom, yes, it is valid from a timing perspective. It would be nice to extend it a little bit more. Okay, guys, you know, I must be honest with you. The reason that I would prefer, but I might not get it, is I would like to see a fake out. I would like the C wave, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would like this one to get invalidated. I want us to take that high. I want the breakout, and I want people to long like crazy maniacs, and I want to see the fake out. Okay, because from a market psychology perspective, it's the one that makes, for me, the most sense if I bring market psychology into it. Because what's going to happen over here? Everyone is watching. I can tell you guys now, everyone is watching this triangle. Everyone is watching it. What is going to happen over here? Everyone's going to long the breakout, okay? And then that is going to be such an important level to watch. Because if it looks bullish here to the upside, everyone's longing like crazy maniacs, and it does this, right? And then all these people are like, oh shit, some of the people are going to put their stop losses below this low, and some people are going to put their stop losses below this low, right? And some people might even put their stop losses below this low, but you're going to have liquidity build up in this zone. Okay, so you have the fake out, okay, and then you have the breakout to the upside, the true move. I like to see the fake outs on both sides first, okay, because it just cleans up the market. It confuses the retail traders. They're like, oh, should we long, should we short? Shit, I got liquidated, what now? Okay, so I'm giving you guys the plan so that you know what to look out for. Don't be scared if this happens, okay? Remember the plan, right? Remember the plan. Okay. Right, can we also go and grab liquidity at 106.5? 106.5. Yeah, I think, this is a very interesting zone. So I don't know how deep the flat is going to go, but something that I am keeping in mind is this. This is a wild card that I threw out this morning to our Legends Pro community. There's a potential harmonic pattern forming over here. Okay, but ideally you don't want to claim the highs. It needs to fall down, otherwise it's going to get invalidated. If price, okay, so what I'm basically saying, guys, is if you claim the highs, the harmonic is invalidated. Okay, if price falls down without claiming the highs, okay, this is something that I'm going to be paying attention to, because maybe there's also a lot of people looking at this low. They want to see the swing failure from the low. And what if we don't get the swing failure? Okay, because like myself and Andy and some professional traders, there's a lot of traders looking at this low. And what if it gets front run, yeah. Anyways, you take a fib from the low to the high. Okay, this 786 is definitely a level that I will be paying attention to, because you could be forming, this is a reversal pattern, guys. Okay, price falls down and then it back to the upside. Right, so 786 is definitely a level that I will be paying attention to if we do not claim this low, because I know that the market loves to front run. And what if price does fall here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're all waiting for this low to be claimed. And price bounces here and poof, it just shoots back to the upside. So definitely on a harmonic that I will be paying attention to. If you tap the 786, it's a godly. If price taps the 0.88 and finds support, it's a bat. Both very valid harmonic patterns. So it's just a wild card that I threw out to the Legends Pro community. Right. Cool. Legends, remember to smash up that like button if you haven't done so already. Okay. It might just get front run. Yes. There's always a front running scenario. Okay. Because I know for a fact that there is a lot of people. Let me just take this out the way. If price had to fall down here, okay, there's going to be a lot of people looking for a long in this zone. We also have a daily level there, right, at the 0.88, which will then be a bat pattern. So I know there's a lot of traders waiting for this, and they want to trade this. But they want to see that. They want to see the liquidity grab below the low. And I'm just saying, well, I'm going to be paying attention, if I'm not sleeping, obviously, I'm going to be paying attention to this zone. Okay, because everyone waiting for this might not get it. Price falls down. It finds support here by the daily level maximum. Then it's a bat harmonic. And then it continues to the upside. Because we all know, okay, the market loves to front run. And then everyone waiting for, oh, what happened? Okay, it forces them to buy in at higher levels. Right, thanks. Wow, Dewald, really are a true legend. Thanks for the masterclass. Absolute pleasure. Right, legends, I did say it's going to be a little bit of a shorter live stream. I have unfortunately run out of time. Remember, links for the Legends Pro community down in the description. Bluffin, BTCC, I've got weeks, the best bonuses, no only an email and a password, okay, no documents required to start trading on these exchanges. Also your way to support the channel, costs you nothing extra. Have yourselves a great evening. Until the next one, cheers for now.